Winter on the ranch is one of my favorite times of year. Snow blankets the fields, the cattle stay close to the barns, and everything feels calm and quiet. This year, I decided to have some fun and built a massive snowman right at the edge of my driveway. I'm not talking about a small 3-ball snowman. This thing was 8 feet tall, stacked with heavy-packed snow, decorated with an old cowboy hat, a carrot nose, and even a lasso for arms. It became a bit of a landmark for neighbors passing by. But, of course, Karen couldn't stand it. The very first night, I woke up to strange noises outside. By morning, the snowman was knocked flat, footprints leading straight back to Karen's house. I rebuilt it. The next night, same thing, flattened. By the third time, she didn't even try to hide it. I caught her from my window, laughing as she rammed her SUV right into the snowman, plowing through it like it was an obstacle course. I confronted her the next morning. "Karen, stop destroying my snowman." She smirked. "It's ugly. It ruins the neighborhood aesthetic. I'm doing everyone a favor." "On my property?" I asked. "HOA rules apply everywhere," she said smugly. I just smiled. "We'll see about that." That afternoon, I rebuilt the snowman one more time. But this time, I packed it differently. Instead of just snow, I built a core of solid ice mixed with a few logs from my firewood pile. Then I coated it in another thick layer of snow, smoothing it so it looked like any other snowman. It was reinforced, strong, and ready. Sure enough, at around midnight, I heard that familiar SUV engine revving up. I didn't even peek out the window this time, I just listened. Vroom, crunch. The impact shook the ground. Metal crumpled, glass shattered, and then came the unholy sound of Karen screaming. I ran outside with a flashlight. There she was, her SUV's front end completely destroyed, steam pouring from the radiator, bumper folded in, hood bent upwards like a tin can. And the snowman? Still standing tall, barely leaning. Couldn't help it. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped the flashlight. Karen stumbled out of the driver's side, dazed and furious. You tricked me. That's not a snowman. That's a weapon." I raised an eyebrow. "A weapon? It's a snowman, Karen. You're the one who keeps hitting it." She pointed a shaky finger at me. "This is vandalism. You set a trap to destroy my car." "On my own driveway?" I asked calmly. "I built a snowman. You chose to ram it." Repeatedly. The cops showed up 15 minutes later, called by Karen herself. When they saw the wreck, one of them actually chuckled. "Ma'am, you hit a snowman with your SUV?" "Not just a snowman," she yelled. "He reinforced it. It's illegal." I shrugged. "Deputies, I built a snowman on my property. She trespassed and destroyed it. Multiple times. Tonight, she just happened to hit it hard enough that her car lost the fight." The deputies exchanged looks. Then one said, "Ma'am, you're lucky you're not in cuffs right now. Trespassing and property damage are serious charges. We'll let the insurance sort this one out." Karen screamed that she would sue me, the county, the state, anyone. But in the end, she had to pay thousands in repairs and fines. The snowman, now a local legend, stood for weeks after that. Neighbors even started taking selfies with it, laughing about how Karen's SUV couldn't win against Frosty. And Karen? She never touched another snowman again. Turns out, sometimes a little ice and wood can stop a Karen dead in her tracks. Last year, I had to spend 6 months overseas for work. Before leaving, I made sure everything was secured, fences repaired, and cattle tended to. I had a ranch hand checking in weekly. Everything was in order. But when I returned, I didn't recognize my own land. Where my fields once stretched, there were rows of cookie-cutter houses, sidewalks, streetlights, driveways, and bright banners that read, "Welcome to Oak Ridge Estates, Phase 2. 138 brand new homes, built directly on my property." I nearly ran my truck off the road. I stormed straight to the HOA clubhouse, where Karen, the president, was sipping iced tea like a queen on her throne. "You've got 10 seconds to explain why there are houses on my land," I growled. Karen smiled sweetly. Oh, don't be so dramatic. The developer decided to expand, and your ranch land was perfect. Don't worry, you'll be compensated once the sales finalize. My blood boiled. You built on MY property without consent. That's trespass, fraud, and theft. Karen laughed. You weren't using it. Now families will enjoy it. You should be thanking us. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just walked out because I knew something she didn't. See, the developer who originally built their subdivision? I'd gone to school with the CEO. And while the HOA thought they were cozy with him, they forgot one important detail. Their contracts only covered the lots already sold. They had zero rights to expand without purchasing new land. And they hadn't purchased mine, which meant every one of those 138 houses was sitting illegally on my ranch. I called the CEO. Hey, you might want to check your records, I told him, because your company just built phase 2 on land I still own. There was silence on the other end of the line, followed by a panicked, "What?" I sent him the deed, the surveys, and the aerial photos. Within hours, his legal team descended on the HOA like a pack of wolves. Turns out, the HOA board had forged documents claiming they had development rights. The contractor never verified ownership, they just built. That single mistake triggered one of the biggest lawsuits in county history. The HOA was sued for fraud. The developer sued them for damages. Homebuyers sued them for selling illegal lots. And me? I sued for land theft. In the end, the HOA was completely bankrupted. Karen and her board were personally liable for millions. Their homes were seized, their assets drained, and their reputations destroyed. As for the 138 new houses, the county condemned them. Some were bulldozed, others sat empty, rotting shells of a failed scam. My ranch hand and I tore down the cheap sidewalks and fences, and I reclaimed my land. Today, when I drive past that part of my ranch, it's peaceful again, just wide, open fields. A few remnants of driveways poke through the grass like scars, reminders of what Karen and her HOA tried to steal. They thought they could take my land while I was away. Instead, they lost everything, while I gained one of the most ironclad property rights cases in county history. My ranch stood long before their HOA, and it'll still be here long after they're gone.